Good morning, everybody. It's your boy E. Sutton, Eric Sutton, whatever you want to call me. You can call me that. Just don't call me out my name. Look, this is my first taping, recording, whatever you want to call it, of Eric Sutton Presents just one man's opinion. And we're gonna dive right into it. We're gonna start the NFL. A lot of people upset, mostly females, I noticed, about Dez being released from the Cowboys. Some of the fellas, I call y'all lesbians. Like a lot of people who were in love with Tony Romo, I called y'all Romosexuals. So the lesbians, they're a little upset. They should have released him early. I don't know why they waited so long. What's that? They ain't nobody called him yet. Baltimore called him. He said he didn't want to take a long-term deal. He wanted a one-year deal. So you really just shoot dice with Joe Flacco as your quarterback. See, that tells me right there, the boy ain't right. Jason Witten, though, a consummate professional. You don't hear anything negative about him. You know, he's one of the slowest people I've ever seen run routes. But I've seen him just know how to, just shimmy a little bit, get over first and 10. So, Cowboy Nation, we will miss Dez and Witten. Witten to a much higher level. But this is for the NBA playoffs. And I'm entitling this first episode of Eric Sutton Presents, just one man's opinion. I'm calling this one, Long Live the King and Am I a Hater? Long live the King. Look here. I've been very critical of LeBron James. It's a lot of hype, and you be like, hey, he all right. And then I play it back in my head. When LeBron got drafted, I remember telling my boy Mo, I said, Mo, he gonna go down as one of the greatest of all time. He was like, what? I said, because of the stats he's gonna accumulate. And LeBron's doing that. And I say long live the King because he's going to be Toronto and treat them like stepkids. I'm going to take y'all back to Boys in the Hood. Y'all remember when Furious was waiting on Trey to come home? Because Ricky just got popped. So he out there with Doughboy. Doughboy and them wasn't up no good. But he was sitting there twirling around those stress balls or whatever they were in his hand. Those stress balls is what LeBron has of the Toronto Raptors. We call them, for lack of a better term, I'm going to say it. I mean, I heard one of my partners say this. He got their nuts in his hand and he just twirling them around. He'll give them back to them when he's ready to give them back to him. I mean, LeBron's doing whatever he wants to do up there. LeBron had a bad game, had a triple-double. They gave him the L after Toronto smoked it off. And it's almost like, he had a bad game. Y'all gonna let J.R. Smith and them beat y'all and Kyle Korver? They're blowing leads. They just make some bad, terrible decisions. Man, coaches like Dwayne Casey make it hard for some qualified brother coaches to get jobs. Yeah, I said it. Casey's a terrible coach, in my opinion. Once again, it's just my opinion. But long live the King. In the words of Ric Flair, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And good grief, it don't look like, as of today, Saturday morning, let's see, 8:18, he's not going home in this round. So, just sit back and enjoy it. In the words of the Philadelphia 76ers, just sit back and enjoy the process. But now we're going to get on to some good stuff here. We've all seen, if you've been paying attention, a lot of young talent in the playoffs. Some of them we know about. We know about Anthony Davis. We've heard about Dennis Mitchell, my man up there in Philly, Embiid, Ben Simmons. These guys but they're doing it on a bigger stage. I mean, they say it's different in the playoffs. These boys is going out. I've always said, how's it different? We're playing basketball. Well, they call the game different. Well, look here. Anthony Davis, E'Twaun Moore, Drew Holiday, Mirotic. Mirotic only in New Orleans because he got knocked upside the head by Bobby Portis, but that's another story. But to watch those guys play at a high level, New Orleans swept Portland, who I thought would go to the next round and give Golden State trouble. They got those two young guards, my man Dame Dollars and C.J. McCollum. And they didn't. They got swept. But the one thing about those New Orleans Pelicans, and in the words of my man Mo, give me Rondo. This boy is a maestro out there, I mean, he's out there performing surgery on the NBA champions. 21 assists last night, 11 rebounds. One of the few point guards you'll see, along with maybe Jason Kidd when he was at his best, even Chris Paul to a different level. They don't have to score to control a ball game. Rondo is that I'm looking at it, and I see him this point like, ooh, he dropped that dime. Somebody's going to be an all-star because of Rondo going forward. New Orleans needs to hold on to the young brother. Let him be Rondo. I know some Mavericks fans like, well, he didn't do that well. That's because his coach wanted to be the puppet master and control everything. Alvin Gentry letting Rondo do his thing. And this is the results you get. He's played with veterans. He's played with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, even if they didn't get along. He played with guys, and he learned to kind of sit back and okay, that's how we should do it. They say he's big on film. He's calling cats 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He's watching people like, you need to do this on the next game. That's a leader, a great point guard. And my man Rondo, woo, the boy's bad. But let's go in and get into the meat to what I really want to dig into. My friends say, a couple of my partners, I'm going to put it out there, and down there in Houston, you a hater. They think I'm a hater because I don't agree with their view on the Houston Rockets. To win a championship, you have to play defense. And it's not about individual defense. You have to play good team defense. Because Houston does have some solid individual defenders on that team. PJ Tucker, solid defender. Baamatu, solid defender. Ariza can be when he wants, but he's gotten caught up in this, I can shoot threes now. Phil Jackson would let me shoot threes. He's playing like that. But they don't play good team defense. They have a shot blocker on the back end, so they feel like, well, he'll clean up my mess. I'm not big on stats, but I can watch some things and maybe say, okay, that's why they losing. James Harden, who should be the MVP, he probably should have got it maybe a year or two ago as well. I think he got it at one of them little player award things that come on TNT. I think the players voted for him. James Harden led the league in blow-bys. And I'm not talking about him blowing by anybody because he ain't going to do that. He can, but all he want to do is step back and travel. Yeah, I said travel. But he led the league in blow-bys. They were just going by him. And I noticed a couple of things, though, in the Minnesota series. He played better team defense. He was closing out and this, that, and the third. And all I've ever said, everybody can't be a great on-ball defender, but you can be a great team defender if you want to. So when you're not a good team defender, that says a lot about you. That's a lot about you. And some people, I can't give him a pass. Look here, we gave Dominique Wilkins a pass for years. Bernard King. These guys weren't good defenders. So, I can give him a small pass, but I can't give him a big pass. But let's talk about the roots of why they think I'm a hater. I don't think they can beat a healthy Golden State team in 7 games. I just don't think they're capable of doing it. Now, let me take that back. I don't think they will do it. I think they're capable because we've watched Golden State over the years. Golden State have what I like to call the brain farts every now and then. They'll come out there, let a young team jump on them. And what I've learned about young teams, if you watch it over the years in the playoff, if a young team can get a taste of it, like, ooh, we can beat them. And you're dependent, oh, no, when it's time, we'll pick it back up. If they don't get shell-shocked and they hold on to it like Utah did in Game 2, like New Orleans did last night, you can lose. So that being said, Golden State will win in 7. Why? Because, everybody, they got Houston got the best one-on-one player. Okay. Harden get you 30 in a heartbeat. So can Steph. So can KD. So can Clay. Clay ain't done it yet. Clay it's on his resume. That's about all they got. Okay, that's about all y'all got. Y'all got CP3 and James Harden. CP3, I said this last year in July. I was at a great birthday party, and we were outside talking, and I said CP3 is going to take a lot of pressure off James Harden. And that's what he's done. James is not on. CP3 has the the skill set, the knowledge to go out there and say, okay, I got you, dog. We're going to do this, that, the third. But with that being said, people, we got home court advantage. So did the 2002 Sacramento Kings. Kobe and Shaq went in on a Game 7 on a Sunday afternoon and took their hearts. So don't let home court advantage fool you. Like, yeah, we ready now. I heard Mike Tomlin, the NFL coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, say, we're trying to win Super Bowls. The Baltimore Ravens are just trying to beat us. I'm going to ask you, Houston Rockets fans, are you trying to win a championship or are you just trying to beat Golden State? Because let's be clear. Just because let's say you beat Golden State, that doesn't automatically say, oh, we're the champions now. You got to look at the bigger picture. And last but not least, got a couple of quick points. Sound like a pastor at church in closing. But no, I've learned that when you're not very supportive about a team's newfound success, like the Rockets this year, you're considered a hater. I'm going to say it one more time. When you're not a supporter of a team's newfound success, you're considered a hater. So right now, they consider me a hater. Now look here, fellas. It's all love. We know what it is. This is how we go back and forth. I'm taking this platform so I don't have to type, text, this, that, and the other. Now y'all can look at this, leave a comment on my page and say, something wrong with you, E. You still a hater, E. I love it. That's what makes us good friends, doggone it. A real good, great coach, depending on who you ask, made a great statement. His team was a number 6 seed in the NBA Finals. And I'm sure the Rockets fans will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they were the number 6 seed. And he said, never underestimate a great weekend. It's your boy E.